Hello, my name is Ewan McIntosh and I'm delighted to welcome you to INF 536, Designing Spaces for Learning. This is a really exciting subject. It's been exciting to prepare and is going to dive into the three key parts of that course title. Design, first of all. In design, it's been quite striking over the past 8 months of pulling this course together to see how difficult it is to find what you might call a unifying theory of design. In fact, we have lots of different design theories, and we're going to dive deep into some of these and explore some of the drawbacks and some of the advantages behind them. Above all, we're going to take a look at the purposeful ambiguity of design thinking, which is the overarching attitudes and set of capacities that designers exhibit, and spot some of the similarities between those attitudes and those of educators. And above all, you are going to live that design process, the design cycle, not just in the way that you undertake this course, but all the activities are geared up towards helping you think like a designer. In terms of space, my key desire is to move us all beyond anecdote and he said, she says about what works in school space design. There's actually a lot that we do know about successful space, and there's a lot we know about successful learning, more now than we have ever known before. The research into great learning, which is the last of those three areas, has become more accessible and much more pragmatic, much more geared up towards what educators can do to facilitate great learning. We're going to try and bind some of that research about what makes great learning into the research we know about great design and see if we can create some new understandings around what might make a great space for learning. One of the key aspects of this subject is not just to get your head into the books, but to translate and transfer what you're getting from the research that's laid out and the stories that are being shared, and begin to wonder what impact that could have in the real world around you. So every assignment that you have between now and the end of the subject is in fact geared up towards making a real dent in the universe around you. Second, the research can at some points be quite young. When we started this design process of this subject 8 or 9 months ago, there was some research which had not yet been released, and in the last few weeks and months, as the research has been released, it's adding a richness to this subject and to our understanding of what might make a great space for learning. That research is coming out both of the space, the design and the learning spaces. So I would encourage you to go and explore, go beyond the reading that's been suggested here, go beyond the activities even, and make it your own. If something strikes you as particularly interesting, that's your cue to go off and noodle away a little bit more in depth and come back and share with the rest of us what it is you've found. Now, with that in mind, that pragmatic edge of the subject, I'm delighted to say that I'm going to give you a few more extra days on this first assignment, this first blog post, in order to note the impact of what it is you're seeing when you change a space around you. So in fact, you're going to have until August 1st to get that blog post published, and that gives you, I wouldn't say delay doing what I'm asking you to do, but it certainly gives you a few more days to note the impact of the task that you've undertaken. In terms of sharing your impact, and this is a really important part of any subject, but also something that I'm personally passionate about, is sharing the impact of what you've done. Let's not just put all our trust in what the research says or what that book over there says. Let's test our research by practicing it and then reporting back as researchers in lots of different media. So you have a Flickr group where you can contribute graphics and images of the spaces that you're designing. So if you take photographs, share them there. You have the course DIGO, and we have a INF 536 tag there for all our designing spaces for learning links, research, extra things that we find, and I'm going to put in a lot of links there over the weeks to come. We have our forum. Our forum is a safe place really to share those brief, kind of maybe slightly uninformed ideas that you're developing, and to seek clarification, to seek help, to get other people's views on what you're pulling together. The first part of the course, the first month, 5 weeks or so, is what I would call an immersion. And I'm not asking you really to pull together too many threads too early on. I want you to be immersed in this bath of designing spaces for learning. But as you try to make sense of what you're seeing, it's nice to have a safe place to do that with peers who are on the same journey. As your ideas become a little bit better formed, you may want to add longer form posts on your own blog, on your ThinkSpace blog. And obviously there are some tasks that you must undertake on that ThinkSpace blog. That longer form blog, some of you will choose to keep quite private, just for your peers on the course and on the subject. Others will choose to make that quite a public space, and others still will have their own weblogs that they've maybe had from before. Because the ultimate denominator of that is that some members of the team may want to keep their blog posts more in the private edge of things, I'm encouraging you, as a little bit of an experiment, to share on our Google Plus community anything that you feel is shareable, that is maybe a little bit of a breakthrough or an insight that you've had, or something just so amazingly cool that you don't want to just share it on Adigo, on the social bookmarking. You want to take it to a wider audience, because that Google Plus community is something that I and my team are going to do our best to share with wider communities of practice, to connect to educators, architects, designers, facilities planners who are not part of this subject, but I want to shine a light on some of the great thinking that inevitably is going to come from its participants. I can't wait to get started with you. In the meantime, enjoy the introduction to the course. It's a little easy way in. Enjoy the first few weeks looking into design, looking into space and looking into learning, and treat that as an immersion. This is your chance to really dive deep and not worry too much about pulling all those threads together until later on towards September. Okay, have a great time, and I'll see you online on Twitter at Ewan McIntosh, on Facebook, or on our Google Plus page for the course, the INF 536 subject. Listen, thank you so much. I'll see you soon.